Hey guys, I'm Tech, and today we're going to talk about the ultimate DeWalt toolkit set that you can own. So we're going to talk about this XR toolkit, what's inside and what's missing, and of course what tools you got to buy to make it fully complete and make it the ultimate toolkit. So stick around. Hey guys, I'm Tech from Tech Driven, and today we're going to talk about this ultimate DeWalt toolkit set. And of course, this toolkit particularly, this is the model DCK677D2. This is the XR model. We'll compare what's better with the XR versus the standard, and of course, what's missing in this box and what you should get to make it the ultimate DeWalt toolkit. So this is still sealed. I haven't opened it yet. Let me do that right now. This is the 6-piece toolkit set. It comes with battery charger. So let's open it up, if I can find an opening. So it appears that you're getting this big bag in the box, and this bag itself, DeWalt has all the tools. So it's fairly heavy. So you're getting a nice big bag for all your tools. So what's inside? Let's take a look. So first we got a driver. We got a jigsaw or receptacle saw, whichever you want to call it. We got a drill, we got a flashlight, we got an oscillating tool, and our circular saw. So here I got a battery charger, I got some blades for the oscillating tool, and 2 batteries that are 2 amp each. And we got a blade for our circular saw. So let me just clear this up for a little bit. We're not gonna need the blades, I'm not gonna store it now. We'll take out the batteries because that's pretty standard across all DeWalt tools. This video is not sponsored by DeWalt or anybody or Duncan. This is just coffee. One thing to point out, of course, it comes with 2 amp batteries. I have some spare 1 amp batteries as well. And I got this aftermarket 5 amp battery, which does the trick and it's fairly cheap. I'll have a link in the description if you're interested for any of it. And before I begin, don't forget to click like if you like the video. So this is a flashlight. Not a bad flashlight. Is it really necessary? Not really. We got an oscillating tool. This is actually quite a nice tool to have. Not really as necessary, but it does come in handy sometimes. So the oscillating tool model number is DCS356. Next we got a drill. Nice, compact, fairly light. This is the model DCD677D2 Brushless, of course. All the tools are here are brushless. And that's what XR is pretty much all about. Brushless, giving you more power and longer battery life with the XR model. So this is where the major difference starts. And of course, you know, the XR stands for brushless versus non-brushless, but the brushless are slightly different. In this case, as you can see, I'm right-handed and the blade is on the opposite side away from me. That's one thing you can expect with a brushless. So it all really depends if you are righty or lefty. It may come that the brushed circular saw might be better for you, but it really depends on how you use it and all that. Big thing about this one, of course, is that it has a 1-inch larger blade size versus the regular one that's brushed. You have, I believe, 7.5. So I believe with the brushed ones, you got 6.25 inch blade versus this one is 7.25 inch blade. 1 inch difference, if I'm not mistaken. That's fairly significant change. Next thing we got, there's receptacle saw or sawzall as some might call it, and this is where a big change comes in. Is of course, look at that, it's brushless and of course it's a lot compact. Less tool that you got to work in, so you can get in the tight corners versus big sawzall where A lot of times what would happen is you would bend the blade just to get in a spot because it was just simply too long. That's a big advantage. It is very heavy. You can use it with one hand, but two is still optional. Very strong, very powerful. The receptacle saw model is DCS677. And of course the last thing we have is the impact driver. This is the model DCF787. So as you can see, this is what's inside the kit, except what I don't have here shown is the two 2 amp batteries and a charger. So what makes this toolkit special? It has pretty much a majority of the primary tools for ultimate kit. So the impact driver is really necessary to have. Our receptacle saw or sawzall is definitely a must. Then we got our circular saw, definitely useful, must have. So the hammer drill, definitely useful, especially when you're drilling holes in concrete or anything else, must have. This is sort of more of an optional but a really handy tool, oscillating tool, good to have. Of course, all of them I believe come with XR, regardless how you buy them. Flashlight, nice to have, but really unnecessary. So technically you're getting 5 tools that are actually quite necessary, but of course this set is missing. There's few tools that are essential to make it the ultimate toolkit. So let me grab the next thing that you probably should invest in. And this is it right here. So this is a XR grinder, brushless, more power, really nice tool to have. You get a key and you got your handle here. This is missing from this kit and I definitely recommend that you get this. Next on the list that's missing from the kit, and of course, is the jigsaw. So there are 2 versions of jigsaws, brushed and brushless. This is the brushless edition, and of course it's a lot more expensive. A lot of big tools, you know, you'll see that some of them are just $20-30 when you buy them individually, but a lot of them, especially the ones that are really necessary, are about $100 more. So the jigsaw is really useful, especially this one, the XR, has better angles, adjustable speed right here, and also nice release for the blade. The big advantage here is that it's brushless, and although it's pretty much $200 or double the price of a brushed jigsaw, a lot of times what the stores will do is if you spend $200 on a tool, you can get this 3 amp battery and a charger kit with your tool. So that comes really handy. Another tool, but this one is nice to have, however it's really optional, and that would be the sander. So this is the model DCW210 Random Orbit Palm Sander. It's pretty fancy. It does get a little heavy once you add the battery on it, but you also have adjustable speeds here, and it does the trick. It comes with a bag and dust collector. So this is really an optional, but definitely at least one sander versus when you have a square. They have 2 different ones. I have both, but regardless which sander you choose, should be fine. But one sander is actually pretty useful to have. I almost forgot. Another tool that comes in really handy is the blow motor. This is the XR version, which is more powerful than the small one. The small one can do the trick, but I really recommend that you spend the money and get a XR version. You get a lot more power. Last thing, of course, is the dry vacuum. This is actually the old model with the 18-volt battery. I'm still planning on buying the 20-volt with the cable, definitely with the cable, but I use this thing almost every day. Definitely something to own. They're not super expensive, however, they do really do wonders. They're not heavy. They pick up pretty much everything. You can run it off battery or off cord. Really handy tool to have. So out of this toolkit, let's go what's essential and what's not. What makes it the ultimate toolkit? We can say that it's not essential, but it's nice to have. Would be the oscillating tool, the palm sander, and the flashlight. They're cool to have, but not essential. Of course, I mentioned that this toolkit comes with 2 batteries, 2 amps. Our circular saw does eat batteries fairly well, so 2 amps won't last you for long. You may cut a few pieces before it really dies. This is definitely a power hungry machine. Besides everything else, should run eventually, at least for small jobs. This kit right here cost me around $850 after sales, discounts, all that stuff, so it wasn't bad. But most of the time, you gotta spend just for some of it around $800 to $1,000. Is it worth it? If you are a carpenter that does work with tools constantly, XR is definitely a must. However, if you're just a homeowner that you work on a house once in a while, you can really get away with just brush system that you can get a kit for $500, and I'll have one in the link in the description as well that you can take a look at. But you're a carpenter, you're using tools daily, might as well spend the money and get the XR. You get a better performance and a better battery life. Not to mention, this tool set will last you for about 5 to 10 years. Depends on how you use it, of course. So this is the ultimate tool set, including the vacuum. Really nice to have in your possession. If you have any questions regarding any of those tools, make sure you let me know in the comments below. And also don't forget to click like if you like the video. Hope to see you again soon.